Hello guys and welcome to Car Focused. So we're here inside the i30N Performance. Now I've already had one of these on the channel and that was a manual, but we're in the DCT version today. Now I've been driving this for about 20 minutes and I really enjoy it, I'm not gonna lie. Really good car. Now I did really enjoy the manual. I thought it'd be a good comparison with the DCT because there's obviously going to be less engagement there with the automatic gearbox, but I've only really driven German cars with dual clutch transmission, our Golf GTI Performance and our 3 litre TDI Audi. Good gearboxes, but I've never really driven a DCT from a different manufacturer, particularly a Hyundai. So some people would say that coupling it with a car like the i30N is maybe a bit criminal because you're taking away that kind of hot hatch. You know, hot hatches are supposed to be a very engaging experience, aren't they? You're at one with the car. But I think there are pros and cons to both. And with this, it just basically means that you can get down the road that bit quicker. And this car is quick. Gee. Wow, I tell you what, when you initially accelerate, there's a very slight hesitation, almost like a little bit of turbo lag. The turbo then decides it's going to wake up and the car absolutely slingshots down the road. And the best bit with this gearbox is when you change gear, it reminds me a bit of a BMW M2, the original M2. You get this violent sort of thrust back as it changes gear and goes, and there's no lag in turbo on the gear change. So it's just the initial acceleration, a slight bit of lag, and then it's bang, bang, bang through the gears. And it really does get up and go, and it does make this car a bit of a weapon on a back road. Now we're in the full-on N mode, and this does actually give you a bit of overboost as well, so you get 20 seconds I think it is, you get a bit of extra poke. Yeah, this car's quick. Yeah, we've got adaptive dampers as well, and it obviously firms up when you go into its most sort of fierce, so should I say, modes. It is quite firm, but it's what's needed when you're tackling some nice twists and turns. It just makes the car feel that much more stable. God, it's quick on the gear change though, guys. Lovely pops and crackles from the exhaust. Steering feels nice as well, doesn't feel too light. It's nice and weighted actually, but in this N custom mode, you can customize all of these settings to suit your needs. I've just gone in the default setting. You can probably hear now it is quite firm actually, just cruising around. So we'll hit the drive mode button and we'll go back into normal. The valve closes up, suspension softens, and it's very pleasant actually. If you drive through a little town in M mode, you do come across as being a bit yobbish because you've got these pops and loud exhaust and stuff. But if you want to be a bit more subtle, then yeah, pop it in normal mode and then just sit back and enjoy the ride. But you've also got an eco mode as well. But in these cars, I'm sort of thinking, why are you buying one of these cars if you want to drive it around an eco? But fuel prices these days, maybe sometimes you don't want to be driving fast and you want to save a bit of fuel. So pop it in eco mode. Very well kitted out in the car. Everything is quite simply laid out. There's nothing too sort of complicated. Nice big infotainment screen here. I'm using the sat nav at the moment. It's all relatively simple to use. The resolution's pretty good, and you've got these haptic touch buttons here, which are quite responsive actually. They're not too annoying. And then we've got a traditional dual climate control system down there, which is, you know, just got traditional buttons and knobs, which is what we all like. We don't need anything too fancy. Yeah, I just really like this car, guys. Nice driving position. It's electrically adjustable. Visibility is good. The steering wheel feels lovely. We've got nice paddles here, which make changing gear, there's no drama there with changing gear. They're fixed to the steering wheel as well, which I like, so you've always got them there when you need them. Great looking car from the outside as well. I think it's come on, I know it's only subtle differences to the pre-facelift, the original i30N, but I think the little tweaks they've made here and there just kind of bring it into the modern era a bit more and just make it stand out that little bit, just make it look like it's something sporty. Particularly, I like them in white, like we've got here, and also the trademark blue as well that they come in. Got a nice load of torque as well from this car, so we're going up quite a steep hill. And if I just accelerate out of this corner here, Had the window open then as well. Yeah, it does go, and it was probably noticed it was scrabbling for grip a little bit. A bit of torque steer there, but that just makes, that's the good thing about high-powered front-wheel drive cars. Just adds to the fun, but it wasn't too out of control either. Yeah, a little bit of scrabbling about. Could be to do with the P0 tyres as well, but yeah, good fun. Also, what I like about this gearbox is you can just rev it right out and hit the red line, whereas in the likes of the Volkswagen Golf, it will change gear for you, and it kind of gets a little bit annoying because you just feel like you're having that bit of control taken away from you. But knowing this, if you want to bang it off the limiter or get as close to the limiter as you can, then it will let you do it. Right, nice little twisty road here, so let's get straight on it. Second gear. Oh, scrabbling a bit there. Lovely little bit of road this. So the car feels extremely eager to get going. Nice on the brakes, not too bitey. That little delay kind of helps you coming out the corners as well. Gives you the power kind of when you need it. You do have to actually get quite hard on the brakes actually. Direction change left to right is good. Could feel a tiny bit more agile, but I suppose it's the bigger brother in the N range. Obviously you've got the i30N, which is probably a little bit more yeah, it gets down the road nicely, guys. Feels nice and flat as well. Doesn't feel overly tight, so it's not too fidgety. It's pretty compliant. Yeah, it's good fun, guys. It's good fun. Now, do I prefer this or the manual? I'm really not sure. I think maybe I'd have a little bit more fun in the manual. This makes it almost a little bit too easy getting down the road. But if it's going to be your one car that you own, this is going to be slightly easier to live with, isn't it? Stick it in automatic in one of the comfier modes, and it's not going to, you know, it's going to be easy to drive, isn't it? Pretty effortless, really. So I've just come out of a village and I've been in normal mode, and because it's an 8-speed DCT, this will just cruise along in like 5th, 6th gear, and it's so quiet. It's literally a completely different car to when you put it in its bonkers M mode. And now we're out in the national speed limit zone, I no longer want it to be that tranquil car. I want to turn it into a bit of an animal. So we'll drop it down a couple of cogs and off we go. I love this car. So right, onto the brakes into this corner. The brakes are really, they're nice actually. They're not overly assisted, which is what I like. I don't like it when you put your foot on the brake and it sort of chucks you through the window on the initial bite. This is nice. God, it's a bit bumpy though on these bumps here. Bit of throttle through this corner. Hooks on nicely with its electronic limited slip differential. There's no problems there. It's a bit damp today as well, but it's handling these roads, tackling these roads really well. Then a nice bit of straight. And we can just take it easy again. Whew. Yeah, you do know it is very firm in the M mode. I think you probably want to tweak the settings up a bit, maybe soften up the suspension a little bit there. For track days, it'll be good. 0 to 60 in about 5.4 as well in this car. And I would believe it as well. That's it's definitely capable of that. Anyway guys, that's it. A little review of the i30N. I hope you've enjoyed it. Just kind of a bit of a taster as to what it's like to actually drive. I think it's a really good car. Good fun. Looks good. Goes well. Good DCT transmission. No real dramas really. I haven't really found anything that I don't like about the car. It's something I could live with day to day and it would keep me completely satisfied. So yeah, the next car I'm going to be trying out in the N range is the i20N. So I've driven that before and I didn't really do it much justice. So I'm going to give it another go, see what it feels like. So that'll be another video. So anyway guys, until that next video, take care as always, and I shall see you soon.